armored battalion.
Yes.
And start in the 40s and move up. And how many times did I see black people in the movies? And if I did see them, what were they doing?
Yeah.
Just in case you're wondering what the freak I'm doing the most epic review ever in the morning. It's just gonna be short, but I'm pretty much reviewing, YouTube videos, like just a few of them, maybe 2 or 3. Right now I'm starting off with the Whoopi Goldberg and Jay Bahar Shut Down by Morgan Freeman, and it's a review of, my boy, make sure to put the names off in here. Okay Rick, you know what I'm saying? So if you're not already subscribed to Okay Rick, make sure you go check my boy out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna continue.
There were
Like, share, and subscribe.
servants. They were always. I know it's appalling.
I can give you the name.
If you watch old movies, Betty Davis movies are particularly, even though she's great, and
it's the period.
It's not her fault. It's the period. It's upsetting to watch. Tell you the truth.
It shouldn't be that way because somebody did make money.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the time.
He made an appearance on the show to talk about his documentary, but they just couldn't help themselves and used it as an opportunity to make it about race. They thought they were going to be able to bait him in, but Morgan Freeman isn't interested in talking about race or entertaining race baiters. The ladies of the Spew should have done their research before inviting him on the show.
How are we going to get rid of it? Should have done your research. They should have done their research on a lot of people they bought on the show. They just get straight shut down, y'all.
I'm gonna be honest, man. Everybody should be doing research. Like, you should wake up in your day, like your everyday day, and do some research. Like, I want you guys to go watch this video on your own when you get time. Like, I showed you just a clip, you know what I'm saying, just a piece of it, of what I'm watching, you know what I'm saying? Now, before I go into this next one,
we are gonna start.
Next one. If you guys have ever heard of the Nation of Gods and Earth, or the 5%ers, Nation of Islam type shit. Peace, God, what's the science? Anyway, you know what I mean? When you get into the mathematics of the supreme mathematics, 1 and 1 doesn't equal 2 either. 1 and 1 equals the entire mathematics. It's where the mathematics start. It's where it's born. You go from the cipher, which the 0 doesn't really exist because there's no such thing as nothing. And even when you come to the sum of nothing, then it just means nothing comes from nothing. Everything comes from nothing. You know what I mean? Which technically makes no sense because nothing can come from nothing. But when 1 is there in the midst of nothing, 1 becomes a multitude. 1 becomes infinity. 1 becomes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as well as the rest of the entire mathematics. So 1 plus 1, when you put it in that scale, actually equals 2. And then it starts to equal 3. Like 1 plus 2. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 plus 1 is 4. Like it's the visual scale, no less. I mean, when you get into things like shards, measuring by shards, and measuring actually by the scale, or even measuring by pikes, like it's different ways to measure things in our existence that we come across, because it's what we have to do. We have to evolve. We have to be quick on our feet to actually be like, okay, what's going on in the simulation? What I'm doing. It's like when you at work, you put it in that toe. You doing road work, or you doing any type of construction, you got to have your ruler with you. You know what I'm saying? If you didn't have this ruler, I don't think you'd just be freelancing shit, and you'd be wondering why things are coming out all lopsided and shit. Like, every freaking creator has some sort of ruler, some sort of, scale to go by, numbers, I mean? But, and yeah, it's human beings, who we are, we can actually create our own scales that are, we can make it make sense in our own life. And then we can teach others that same exact scale. And before you know it, you got a whole nother scale develop. It's like developing a secret language. People do it all the time. It's called code talk. Anyway.
Our conversation about this mysterious interview that has been really kind of bewildering to me, how much attention it's getting, and sort of some of the accusations I'm hearing now, not just about me.
Check me out though. Remember, when you get any type of truth, they'll persecute you. I mean, any type of one single truth that can become more. Because like I said, one becomes more. Like once you got one person believing in this, that one person is able to convince another person. And then, you know, it kind of becomes a cult till it becomes something like a religion or like a culture. Like culture is the next phase. Like when it's the culture, it's just the way of the people. Like over here, it's our culture to be religious. Like this is a religious culture in America, and across the rest of the world, it's still religious because it's shamanistic beliefs. It's what we do. Like for one thing, everybody keeps referencing the Bible as if, you know, it's something grand when it's really just documentation. It's recent documentation of our existence, and there is what they're saying it is. It's Wusabai, all of them, everybody's right. It's the birth of the Adamites. This book is telling you about the time when, you know, extraterrestrial or more advanced beings from other star systems actually came and played with Earth's, you know, system. They played with its, you know, DNA track. They added their DNA to our DNA. Like, and not all of us. That's when it starts explaining that he took them out of the Eden and put them into the world of men. That means Earth has its own track record. The track record is its development of life. Earth's not trying to be like God. Earth technically is a vessel of God doing what it's supposed to be doing. Like, it was going to create its own type of species, like Planet of the Apes. It's everything in our own ideas. It comes to us in dreams. We write it down and we think it's just a fairy tale or a fable. No, it's your DNA telling you the truth. It's speaking. It's your soul resonating, saying, this is what really happened. Every now and then it gets kind of sci-fi-ish, but it's real. Like, it's real.
Personally, and how I'm reacting to it, but how it's being portrayed as an example of why we shouldn't trust experts and what's wrong with experts. So I invited my friend Eric Weinstein, who is an eminent scientist, mathematician, and friend. We had dinner the other night and kind of were discussing this. So I wanted to
say, what is it that we've done that has lost so much credibility so quickly? And I would say it has a lot to do with COVID origins. It has a lot to do with not acknowledging national security issues and pretending that they aren't national security issues. This goes under the heading of covert operations, which are deniable operations. That's not a conspiracy theory. In fact, it is what, let's say, the CIA is tasked with, not just intelligence, but also doing things that can be denied. And so by denying way too many national security things, but
Hey.
Of course I hate these people.
Trump disrespecting black folk is nothing new.
And I do want to go back to like this one thing. Yeah. We face 6 that we can count, that we've recorded. 6 cataclysmic events that mankind in modern day, with the instruments that we have right now, we've caught on to. We're putting it together like a puzzle, like a book that we're reading, and we keep going back to read the book and we find new stuff like, oh shit, that's there. I didn't know it said that. And our mind is comprehending what this book is actually saying. Like, yo, it's giving me reference to, you know, the times and the dates, even down to like moments and what people were actually thinking and going through at that time of that cataclysmic event. I'm talking about events where earthlings were actually present here. Like, let me tell you life, how it goes here. This planet does its thing. It came into existence, and since it came into existence, life has flourished here plenty of times. Like before any extraterrestrial like advancement, like I said, you reference Planet of the Apes. So you know you go through a whole evolutionary track, just like what Darwin says. It's like it's not exactly what Darwin says, but it's just like what Darwin says. That's his understanding of our existence. That's how far he got before, you know, he phased on through the whole corporeal existence, this whole physical existence, the reality, the realness. When you get into the physical matter, when everything that we think doesn't matter matters because we're here. So You got great minds that come through, they figure it out and they write down the message, or they leave the message for the other people that actually want to know what's going on, because everybody doesn't want to know what's going on. Everybody doesn't want to survive, because most people just want to experience the life. You know what I'm saying? It's like a journey. It's a whole journey. But inside this journey, you do have to evolve. That's just a part of it. So for the ones that are here that are woken, or the star seeds that are actually planted on this planet to do what they're doing, they're here to prolong the experience. Prolonging the experience is preserving the preservation of the species, preserving even the preservation of existence itself. This planet gonna do it again. Like I said, 6 is what we record. This planet has been fucking here for a minute. That means the track record, it's things that we're gonna discover that's gonna make it all brand new to us. It's gonna tell you like, oh, we feel like this is old, but nah, look, listen, everything looks different. We came from like dimensions of change throughout our existence. We've evolved with each shade, with each lifetime, each freaking scale of existence of life. Like, you know, start off a freaking single cell, or you start off a light. That light collapses on itself, and that light freaking gains its own mass and gravity and creation. And now you have a whole planet and star system. And that planet starts to do, you know, strange things, developing like networks on it, sort of like into a web or cells or freaking a network, and strategies be made. Now you have an actual body, you know what I'm saying? A physical body, you know what I'm saying? That's containing chemicals, mass, all of that. Some of us can't contain all of these words, but we know what the freak is going on. You know what's going on. It's like you're not meant to put it in words, because sometimes you're just meant to experience life. But in experiencing life, you still have to stay ready in your survival skills of what you need to do in preserving a future. And sometimes it's not even about you. Sometimes it's about your future, your seed, your actual seed. You're a seed. That means you create other seeds. You gotta leave the seed behind, or you gotta preserve the seed. Like it's always gonna be about that. Like, so the next generation is what I'm talking about. Like, even if they don't know what the freak we're doing it for them, because they're gonna do the same thing innately. Don't you wonder why the freak turtles migrate, why whales migrate? And of course they're gonna be whale bones by the pyramids. This planet was flooded. It's a magnetic source. They swim towards that. It's like a warmth. It created this freaking warmth, like geothermic things. Like, nothing wants to just freeze cold. Like, so some things did actually survive and, you know, swim through the freaking flood. It just is what it is. Most of you, if you actually are enlightened, you'll remember times of being in water again. It's lovely being a fish. Yeah, which brings me to the next phase. You go into a fish. You know what I'm saying? The fish, you know, kind of does its thing. They have a whole National Geographic's movement about this, and those guys that had to dream about that, whatever drug they was tapped in on, or just having a dream about the evolution of man. You go into the track. You were a dinosaur at one point. That's why you hold tight to what it really is. It's animalistic things inside of you, like lifetimes. Like, you, if you are original in state, and it really doesn't matter, you're gonna be original. Even the ones that were tampered with, you're still gonna have Earth's track record, because you were created on Earth. Taking off, now you're going to have another planet's track record inside of you. Like, it just is what it is. You're going to have its evolutionary track inside of you. So that's two beasts. All right, check me out. And not to mention what was going on that one. Like, it's scales. That one's more advanced. So it was in touch with other advanced civilizations at the time. Like, you hear about Draconians, and you hear about freaking Palladians, and, you know, the Vega star system, and people that say they come from that way, and people that say they come from Sirius. They're talking about the soul essence. They're talking about past lives. Period. Like, they're literally talking about past existence. This is letting you know how real this stuff is. You think it's a dream, but it's not. The only thing real is reality, and that's the one you live in right now. Like, that's it. But the rest of it is even realer. And I know no, 9 times out of 10, that doesn't make sense. It just means that existence continues. There's no real farewell. You just have to pick up the ultimate lesson of why you're here. You got to answer your own question of why you wanted to even be created, or your existence, like, period. Everything has an explanation, because it's meant to have an explanation. Some things reach no conclusion, but that's only when we get stupid, because we're humans. That's it. Look, research, and then think, and then make sure you meditate. Don't just sit here and be like, I'm gonna pray to God. Like, don't take my advice for it. Take your own life lessons for it. Look around you. Like, become aware of it all. I'm not saying there's not a God, nigga. We all know there's a God. We all know God or the Most High, or, you know, technically we just gonna use the name Creator. You feel me? Or creation. Because, you know, it's too great to be like, I'm gonna call the creator of all existence God. Because obviously, this man created on layers. Like, tell you how real it is. Whatever Anunnaki created Adam or Atamo and Tiamat, that guy created them, or that entity created them, or they came from that entity. There was a time when there was no Anki or no Anu. You got to wrap your head around that. And they knew that, like, from their existence. They knew that shit. Like, these so-called aliens, they know that they not God, that the universe itself is the creator. The universe itself is like, to describe it, it's like you have a universe inside of you. Somewhere inside of you is a whole breakaway civilization, maybe endless or countless breakaway civilizations. They're your cells and shit. Now, maybe one of your cells or few of your cells are housing planets like Osmosis Jones. It's what it like just like the movie Osmosis Jones. And that's another freaking right there. See, man, I'm gonna holler at y'all and let y'all have that one, man. Breathe, man. Hit you a blunt or two. Go get high like me, and then, you know, don't just dismiss what I told you, and go do your own research, man. Go do your own reviews in life, and then go play. Like, don't stay on your phone or on your device. Like, you know, it's a tool. You only meant to use it for whatever time, and then get to work. Me, I'm gonna watch anime, play video games, and then I'm gonna go to work. And when I come home and figure out everything else, I'm gonna start building shit. It's just how I feel. You know what I'm saying? This is what I feel like. Stay up, folks.